Stop. Don't collaborate, but listen. I'm doing a lot. I like doing this. That was good, right?
That was good.
This is my Mythbusters casino guitar.
I like it.
Okay, so we get lots of calls, and not lots, but and we love helping people when they want to open a guitar shop. It was our dream, and we did it, and it's been amazing. But right now, we're trying to say this is the why not to do it right now. It's definitely a weird time in history. This is this is March 2020. 2021, Jesus. Jeez Louise, I'm sorry. I don't even know where we are. 2021.
We don't even know. We've lost count.
It's been a year since we've been locked in this cave, our man cave of joy and guitars around us, but still, even though we made Sean move all of his trash guitars just recently,
we did.
They're not trash guitars, they're just not good guitars.
No, they are. They are. They're actually trash guitars.
We had to move them because we just run out of room because we have more fun toy guitars we have to play with.
I mean, they're cool trash guitars, but they're trash guitars.
I know. He's cleaning the toilets right now, isn't he?
Probably.
Okay.
It's his turn.
He loves when we make that joke. It gets back to some people on the phone like, Sean, aren't you cleaning the toilets? He's like, darn it. Anyway, so we do.
We all clean the toilet.
I know. You're the master vacuumer. You don't like to sweep. You vacuum.
I vacuum.
I'm sort of a sweeper. I like and I sing chimney, chimney. I sing stuff from Mary Poppins when I sweep. It's a thing. Anyway, guitar shops. If you want to open one, we're super thrilled. I would love anything we can do to help. We do help. I love talking to people about it. I had tons of help with it when we were doing all this stuff too. Steve over at Wildwood Guitars has been a great mentor, and I still call him up and I ask him questions. I'm like, hey, are the Murphy Labs amazing? He's like, they're amazing. Cool, that's all I need to hear. It's pretty much, if he says this is good, I'm like, cool, I have to have that. If I talk to Carlos at Chuck Levins, I have to sort of take it with a grain of salt because again, he's sitting at home right now. He's got his little pistols on. He wears the pearl handled pistol. And he's only in the shop a couple days a week right now because of the stupid COVID stuff. Right. So but if you're at Chuck Levins and there's there's Carlos is there, just ask him about his pistols and you'll get a good response. Anyway, so now is a tough time.
Yes.
Primarily because there's no guitars.
That's the big reason.
That is it. I mean, this is primarily if you want to have manufacturer relationships with new guitars.
Right.
And new amps and things. There just aren't anything in existence. So what's going to happen is you're going to get zero response back from the manufacturers. Right. They'll be like, sorry, we're not taking on any new dealers right now. Sorry, even if you can get to the dealer switchboard, the reps. Most likely you won't even get there.
Right.
They'll just sort of I know Gibson has a form, you can fill it on their website. If you're interested in being a Gibson dealer, how much are you looking to spend? Is it $200,000 or $1 million a year? So if you're not looking to spend $200,000, they're not even going to talk to you, and they're not going to talk to you this year anyway because they can't supply existing dealers.
Right.
And we can't even get any Gibsons right now.
No.
And it's insane because we sort of signed up with them to. It was sort of last NAMM in 2020.
2020.
We met with them. We're like, we're 100% we want to do it. Let's just let's get everything out sorted, and then COVID hit. And then we were
it all.
Then we were like, let's hold off.
Yep.
Because we're worried about what's going to happen at QC during it. And then they're like, we can't even get anything right now. We have to supply our existing, and we totally respect that.
Sure, of course.
100% respect that.
Totally understandable.
Because they've had relationships with some places for years.
Right.
And we get it. So if you are a new guy and you're like, hey, I want to get into this, there's no way you're going to get Gibson probably.
I mean, they got to take care of their existing relationships first, right? They're dealers now.
Unless you have $1 million that you will write them a check right now, they might talk to you. Maybe. $100,000, they won't even look at you. They're like, oh, sorry. That's just depressing to me too.
Talk to us in 2022.
And Fender can't do it either. Fender just had another press release come out, I think on Friday or it might have been Saturday, but they cannot make enough guitars to meet the demand that is still there.
Right.
We have had these past 2 months have been record for us too. Last year was a record-breaking year as far as sales through. But the Fender can't supply the sort of $1,500 and down guitars that are like Squires. Be like, oh, can I get a Squire? I'm like, it'll be 8 months. If we don't have it on order already, it's a long haul.
It's a wait.
It's March, middle March 2021. I just did an order for November and December with Fender, trying to hopefully hit that mark.
Yeah.
Normally we'd never have to order that far in advance for just production and Squire pieces. So that's going to be a big problem if you're looking to carry into the major manufacturers. You could go through a distributor, like a third party like KMC and whatnot. Yep. You're not getting direct from these guys, and they're not going to carry the majors But you can get some of the smaller lines, like Breelove carries some through that, Yamaha's, some of the Line 6 possibly.
Right.
And what are some of the other guitars that I'm...
They're like G&L sometimes go
G&L,
through some,
yeah, exactly.
some distributors. Yeah.
But they too are like short on supply right now as well.
I don't know that you'd be in much better shape going that route. Maybe they got a back stock that's there, but I can't imagine they're sitting on that much product right now.
So here's the silver lining though. If you want to sell used stuff, this is a crazy market right now. It's going to be tough. If you have a line to getting some used stuff at a reasonable price, you can sell it.
Yes.
You can sell it immediately almost. Like we love buying pre-owned pieces, like good ones.
Right.
I think somebody came into the guitar shop Saturday with like 10 used guitars, like bought every one of them, amps too. And they're all great stuff, like great Fenders and Gibsons and cool amps and cool pedals. And this guy's like pristine. And then another person came in later to sell some guitars, like I was writing checks left and right. But if you're looking to open up a shop like that, or I talked to a wonderful gentleman the other day who's looking to open up something in an island type setting. I'm not going to say where, just in case it's all top secret. But it was a totally different business model.
Right.
And I was like, this sounds awesome. I'm psyched to hear from him. It was fun talking with him. I don't say names ever just because it's top secret, and he might be getting ready to like become the biggest guitar shop in all of this. I almost said the place.
But it sounded to me like he was sort of thinking outside the box a little, right?
A little bit outside the box. It has some, from venue, which I think is going to come back big, and it's a tourist-based place, obviously, to certain types of instruments that will be hot there, and they have manufacturers based out of there too.
Right.
Which, because we do talk to people like in different places in different countries every day. And I was like, man, this is a great idea. I definitely want to come and visit your shop if you get it off the ground. Like anything I can do to help. Like, he's just asking on how we set up our lesson structures, programs, and how we set up our relationships with our existing manufacturers. Like, yeah, and I'll give you, if you want to, I'd say my advice would be, if whatever you do, if you do want to do a shop, too, like just try to get maybe one major.
Yeah.
One just to have that sort of hammer of like, hey, we have this. If you want to have an acoustic guitar, like try to get maybe Taylor or try to get Martin, but they're tough to get sometimes. If you can't get those, like look at Takamine.
Yeah.
Look at Breedlove. They make a great guitar. Look at Seagull.
Seagull's awesome.
Seagull's are great guitars, like great affordable guitars. We don't carry them. Why don't you carry this guitar? Because we just can't carry everything.
Our shop is only so big.
It's the size of it's the size of my bedroom. It's not. It's pretty big, I guess.
It's pretty big. We're big-ish.
It's a few thousand square feet.
Yeah.
But it's also just, we just carry what we're really super passionate about too. And like Seagulls are great. We're not passionate about them. I think they have a funny headstock.
They do have.
I can't get over the headstock, but they're good guitars.
They are.
They make a good guitar for the great value, I think, too.
Let's say you're opening a guitar shop.
Yes, sir.
What about going boutique? Does that change the game right now at all, or do you think they're on the same?
I think it changes it a bit, and I think boutique is, and we have some guys in our state too, like that have boutique shops, but they're still trying to find their footing because boutique is tricky.
It is.
It is, and like that's
a different world.
That's something we've talked about, and that's almost another video. But let's just get into it a little bit now. If you go boutique only, boutique lines to sort of rise and fall with
there's trends.
There's trends.
Like they get the hot new boutique thing. Everybody wants it.
Well, Novo is really hot right now.
Yes.
Do you remember this guitar called Fano? They're kind of connected. And like Fano was really hot for a minute too.
For a minute,
it was
they
like
were
2006 or 5, sort of in that range. It's like Fanos are the thing.
You gotta have a Fano.
And then gone. It's kind of like Tone King amps were like a thing. Boom, gone. Two Rock was like an amazing thing. Disappeared when they sold the company out to like the wrong ownership. Now it's back with Eli and Lester, and it is the thing again. And they've been doing it the right way to where they've established themselves a firm foothold in the marketplace, and they've got it.
Yeah.
And they're not tweaking the line that much. They have small line, great pieces.
I'd say they're beyond that trend.
They beat the trend, but a lot of these are kind of like Friedmans are hot, Friedmans are not.
Right.
It's tricky. So you have to be really careful. I'd still,
And it's not even that those things aren't great anymore after the trend goes. It's just that tends to be the way it goes with boutique stuff, right? It's it or it's not.
No, I think the hybrid of like having a great used section, which is hard to hold on to. The used stuff like is just selling so fast because if you can, but they're not selling for cheap.
No.
Like let's say the new piece of this guitar is $3,000. Used piece is probably in that $2,500 range. You're not going to get like it 1/3 off.
No.
Like the old days anymore. That doesn't make sense. because they still, especially if it's mint. I mean, if it's beat to heck,
Just different
ball game. But like, yeah, we see like a Gibson 335 that's like $29.99 new. It's probably going to sell for $24.99 used because it's an amazing piece, and good luck finding it elsewhere.
Right.
That's the whole idea of what's happening now, and why it's going to be so hard to open one in this landscape. And the bummer is, like, it's been such a huge explosion of guitar sales, and so you're going to be like, oh, I'm missing that.
That's the weird catch-22 there, right? You want to capitalize on that, but
I'm missing the wave. I want to ride that with everybody else. It's just the flow of getting, and they call it product. The flow of getting guitars is slow. Like, you put in an order, the guitars don't just show up, and that's something we have to educate our people that are buying guitars from us too. Like, if we put in a guitar, particularly the Fender Custom Shop, it used to be 6 to 8 months. It's now leaning towards 8 to 10 months. I mean, it's really 10 months now.
It's just taking
but also an American original production piece. I mean, that's a 10-month order now. It's not like, oh, we have one 30 days. That used to be 30 days. Taylor, anything used to be 30 to 60 days max. Now Taylor's getting back up there. But Taylor is still 6 months on certain pieces. I've ordered some pieces in January. What is it now? Yeah, I mean, it's about right. They're starting to hit now. They're hitting. But that's
still...
But they figured out the game, though. They got their manufacturing on lockdown. Right. It's tricky. If you are looking to open a shop and you want to be carrying like Fender and Gibson, Martin, Taylor, Gretsch, it's going to be hard right now. They have to supply their own dealers. They're not really interested in taking on new accounts at the moment, which is an odd thing. And it's a weird thing. If there's an area, like let's say you want to open up a Fender shop and you're in a certain town and there's another Fender shop, forget about it. It's not going to happen. There is a loyalty system within the companies, which we 100% agree with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess unless you come in with like a huge check.
And even then, maybe
it's like
not.
Baxter, you got to write a bigger check. Wildwood's moving to Southern Pines too. It's like, oh no,
God, how much that would be awesome, and it would suck.
I'm like, can we just work at Wildwood, please? Can I get a job there and hang out with like Greg and the gang, and
we can just be assimilated.
Yeah, it's like the Borg.
That's right.
Ooh, reference to Star Trek. That was like my favorite like moment in high school. Like, I remember watching this series, like the series finale, like by myself in my little dorm room. I went to a public boarding school, which people are like, boarding school is fancy. I'm like, it was a public school, so it's free if you get in. But it was juvie, but whatever. I call it. My mom and dad call it public boarding school. I like to think of whatever. I enjoy that anyway. Star Trek, love that show. If you're any Trekkies out there, God, I just nerded myself even further.
A little bit.
Well, that's all guitar players are, really. It's just like
nerds.
They're nerds that dress cooler.
Maybe sometimes. Not always.
And then people will get on like the guitar makers sometimes, like, oh my God, those guys are so cool. I'm like, bro, those are the dudes that are still playing D&D in their mother's basement.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I mean, if you look at like us, like we're nerds. I mean, look at all the Fender Custom Shop master builders. That is not the coolest looking group of guys. Besides, like, Carlos looks pretty damn cool.
It's true.
But then you look at like, Ron Thorne and like the guys that look like me more with like, I'm thinking that's what comes to mind. Like, I just Ron and I could like party together because like we're like, did you bring the 8-sided dice or did? I know what we're talking about now. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Good.
Of course I do. But yeah.
It's I don't even know why we're talking about that. Yeah, because it's just fun. Why not?
Because you never know what we're going to talk about. That's the joy in our videos.
And stay tuned. Like there is this thing called a podcast in the works. It's we've had lots of requests for it, and we're gonna be shooting it at a different location and a different vibe. Long format, drinking,
unscripted,
and uncensored as well. So this one will not be as PG, I guess.
Probably not.
And we're gonna have lots of guests, and we have a great lineup of guests. We're pretty excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
Like real like rock stars and stuff too. Like that watch our channel. I'm like, that's funny. I mean, rock stars to us, which could be like Bob down at the local crab shack. We don't have a crab shack in Southern Pines. We're not on the coast. But stay tuned for that too. But in general, if you are looking to open up a guitar shop, coming back to this, circling the wagons, like General Custard should have done. I was going to go on a tangent on that. I'm not going to. He put cinnamon spray in his hair. Anyway, because he wanted it to smell good. He had perfume in his hair. I just think that's funny.
I'm going to start trying that.
Cinnamon honey.
That's That doesn't sound fun.
He got his just end. That's all I'll say there. And I'm a history buff. I love history, but man, that guy deserved what he got, I think, at the end there. Wasn't not much a cheerleader for him. Sorry if you're part of the Custer family. But no, if you are looking to open a guitar shop, reach out to your favorite guitar shops.
Yeah.
Any of them. If you are near Wildwood, reach out to those guys. They're phenomenal. If you're near Wilcutt, try to meet Bob. He's a phenomenal icon of the industry, and he's just one of the best luthiers you'll ever meet,
Yes.
and one of the nicest guys. And he has some really great guys on the team, and some crazy ones too, I'm sure, just like we do. But any of these great shops across, like the one that's local to you, ask them how they did it, what their model is, if you're and sort of learn from that.
Most of them overwhelmingly will be happy to help and be very receptive to that.
I have not met one that would be.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, if you're up in Jersey, you got to ask Scott over at Russo Music, and ask him about the pigeon kicking incident of 2018. I think it was that, or maybe it was 19. I can't remember what year it was, but yes, Russo Music. I mean, they've been closed pretty much to the public, but just make an appointment with Scott. He's a phenomenal dude. He's one of my strange friends in the industry. Again, Paul up at Music Village, or Larry Noto at Musicland. That cat, he doesn't even play guitar, and he has one of the coolest guitar shops. His Musicland store is one of those stores, Larry's father owned it, and he passed away, and there was a decision, are they going to keep the shop going, or are they going to shut it down? Larry just quit his career, took over this thing, and expanded the shop and made it even wide range reaching, great Fender store, great pieces in there. And the guy's a stand-up comedian. If that's not,
it's kind of awesome.
He's open for some serious I think it was Dave Attell or something. I was like,
oh, wow.
What? He's funny as heck. We're these Fender meetings, he's just cracking jokes, throwing all the ladies. There's 4 ladies at the Fender dealer meeting of about 100 dealers. There's 4 ladies, and they work for Fender usually. It's really sad. We need more women in the guitar industry, in guitar shops, owning them and working with them. But anyway, Larry Note at Musicland store, hilarious. He and Carlos are good friends too.
That's fun.
Carlos has the pistols and is the phenomenal dancer, salsa dancer is what I'm going to call him. And then Larry's just funny as heck. Anyway, ask your friends at the shops, make it happen. It's going to be tough right now, but if you got some weird hybrid ideas, that's where the game is.
Yes,
that's all I got to say.
I think that's a lot.
I was having a Forrest Gump moment. And that's the end of this. That's all I have to say about that.
Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you don't miss videos in the future. We will talk to you guys soon.
And watch Forrest Gump if you haven't seen it. Great movie.
You should. You have to.